Hello from London. As we consider the journey of becoming better at interceding for climate, there's many things that we probably have strong opinions on. If you've been in the climate space at all, like I have, you know some of the things which are critical, some of the things which are desperately unjust, some of the things which are very, very urgent. We can pray those. That's called praying with your mind, probably, which is what Paul talks about in 1 Corinthians. And he also says you can pray with our mind, we can pray with our spirit. Over the years, I've got better at realising that really, as it says in Romans 8, we don't know what to pray for. And it is worth leaning into God to ask him what he thinks needs to be prayed for, because he knows things. But even all our study and so on, we don't know. I'll give you some examples. So right behind me here is the financial district, City of London, and in the news today, they have been talking about getting companies to report on their climate exposure. Great thing. But what are the intricacies of that? And what does God know needs to happen to make that effective? I don't know, he hasn't told me. But I'm sure that if I grouped with other people and if it was an emphasis that God brought for the day, it might bring tremendous difference to the actual outcome of those policies and those decisions. And this is where we're admitting we don't know how to pray, and we're asking God together as a group, lead us, show us the best things to pray. They, of course, will be very powerful things. Now, there's been occasions when I've experienced this, like, for example, I might have a prayer for a particular politician. Sometimes it's one colour, sometimes it's another colour, sometimes it's one country, so it's another country. And then the next day you find out that particular politician has announced either a proposal or a policy. You think, oh, I wonder if my prayer was a part of that. How exciting. This journey of exciting involvement really comes out of our ongoing discipleship. It's pretty obvious, isn't it? As we walk more closely with God, he is more likely to reveal things that he knows need to be prayed for. One area which I would focus on here, particularly I found in intercession for climate, is the area of judgment versus love. And you, like me, may have strong opinions about some of the people making big decisions in our earth, and how wrong they can be, and how misguided and how slow they can be to make decisions. Now, I would urge us, as we're coming into the intercession space, or into a time of intercession, to actually, as far as possible, deal with those and leave those at the door, and get God's heart and God's love for those individuals, praying out of love with non-judgment, asking for mercy as a fellow human being who may be just as easily deceived, actually, as those people, is an important way to go about things. Prayers with judgment, well, you know, it's just too human. God is on a different level to that, and he really does love it when we will lay down our own judgments and bring in his love for those situations. So that's just one of many things, I suppose, that we need to have our hearts right as we intercede as effectively as we can. And it's really about leaning into God as much as we know how to and learning how to, often doing it in a group where one part of a group will have a scripture, another part will have a word, another part had a dream last night, another part's just been thinking this thing day in, day out, and they think it must be God. And that's the kind of focus that then God is bringing to the group to focus on that particular day, but he knows this is the important thing to pray. So there we are, an exhortation. Hopefully that's not new to many people, but it is an exhortation and a reminder to focus on what God is leading us into as we intercede. Let's journey together and enjoy it with God.